the hidden truth behind your cat's fur color. Your feline friend's coat might be telling you secrets you never imagined possible. The shade of fur you see every single day carries messages about personality, behavior, and even the invisible connection between the two of you. I'm James Mitchell, feline relationship coach. My goal is to help you build a deeper bond of love and trust with your cat, one secret at a time. Welcome to Cat Senses Advice, where we unlock the mysteries that bring you closer to understanding your furry companion. Right from the start, let me share something that might shake everything you thought you knew. That beautiful fur color you admire isn't just pretty to look at. Scientists, researchers, and thousands of cat parents around the globe have noticed something remarkable. The very pigment in your cat's coat could be connected to who they are on the inside. Before we go any further, I need your help building something special here. This channel exists because people like you care deeply about their cats. Every time you hit that subscribe button, every like you leave, every comment you share, you're helping create a space where cat lovers can learn, grow, and discover truths that change how we see our companions. So please, take just 2 seconds right now and subscribe to Cat Senses Advice. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be glad you did. And hit that like button too. It genuinely helps more people find this information. Now, let's get into something truly fascinating. The first glance. Why color captures us instantly. Look at any cat and notice the very first thing your eyes register: the color. Whether you're scrolling through adoption photos online or meeting a stray cat on the street, that initial impression comes from their fur. A sleek black coat reminds us of panthers moving through shadows. Bright ginger stripes bring thoughts of playful energy and warmth. Pristine white fur looks almost royal, delicate, and pure. These instant reactions happen without us even thinking about them. But here's something interesting. Those automatic thoughts shape how we see that cat's entire personality before we even interact with them. Dark-coated felines get labeled as secretive. Ginger-colored cats seem outgoing before they've done anything. Pale cats appear gentle and maybe even weak. It happens unconsciously, built into how our brains process information. So where does this come from? Part of the answer sits deep inside every cat's DNA. The science behind fur color involves complex genetic codes passed down from parent cats. Every single shade, every pattern, every tiny variation exists because of specific genes working together in precise ways. Take black fur, for example. The gene that creates it dominates over many others. Meanwhile, unusual shades like lavender gray or rich cocoa need very specific and uncommon genetic combinations to appear. This isn't random chance. Each cat carries a biological blueprint determined long before birth. But genetics only tells us part of this story. The truly mind-blowing piece comes from how both humans and cats respond to these different colors in real life. Here's something that might surprise you. Research shows that a cat's fur color actually affects how people treat them. Black cats, despite being just as loving and loyal as any other, face lower adoption rates at shelters. Why? Ancient superstitions linking them to misfortune still influence our subconscious minds today, even when we don't realize it. Meanwhile, ginger cats get adopted quickly. Cartoons and movies have made them seem fun and friendly, so people naturally gravitate toward them. This goes beyond simple psychology. It creates real consequences for cats themselves. Picture 2 kittens born from the same mother. One has dark fur, the other bright orange. Their entire lives might unfold in completely different ways. Not because of their actual personalities, but simply because of their coat color. That's how powerful human perception can be. And here's where things get even more intriguing. Some researchers suggest that fur color might subtly influence actual behavior too. While science hasn't proven this definitively, countless cat parents insist they see consistent patterns. Dark-coated cats often seem calmer and more relaxed. Calicos and tortoiseshells get described as feisty, full of sass and attitude.
This trait appears so frequently that people have even given it a nickname, tortitude. Ginger tabbies are famously cuddly and constantly seeking attention. Could this be pure coincidence? Or might color, genetics, and personality be woven together more tightly than anyone realized? Before we dive deeper, think about your own cat for a moment. Does their fur color seem to match who they are? Does your energetic orange cat really act like a little comedian? Does your mysterious black cat genuinely seem wiser than others? Maybe your gentle white cat truly does have an angelic presence. If you're nodding along right now, you're definitely not alone. Millions of cat lovers worldwide notice these same connections. And that's exactly why this topic fascinates me so much. It blends hard science with something deeply emotional, something we feel in our hearts every single day. Let me add another layer to this. Throughout history, fur color has meant more than just appearance. It's carried symbolic weight across cultures and centuries. Ancient societies believed dark cats guarded the spirit world, protecting people from negative forces. Pale cats connected to healing, purity, and even divine beings. In some traditions, golden or ginger cats symbolized wealth and happiness. So when you look at your cat today, you're not just seeing a pet. You're seeing echoes of beliefs, myths, and stories carried forward through their fur for thousands of years. If you're finding this valuable so far, do me a favor. Leave a comment below telling me your cat's color. I read every single one, and I love hearing your stories. Plus, commenting helps this video reach more cat lovers who need to hear this information.
The shocking truth. Does your cat's color actually control their behavior? Now we reach the question that puzzles both scientists and cat parents everywhere. Can fur color genuinely influence how a cat acts? The answer is complicated, fascinating, and surprisingly personal. For centuries, people made assumptions based entirely on color. Medieval Europeans feared black cats, connecting them to witchcraft and dark forces. But in Japan, those same black cats were seen as lucky protectors. White cats with their angelic appearance got linked to healing across many cultures. Ginger cats have been adored for their lively, warm energy. But here's the important question we need to ask. Are these just human projections, or does a real connection exist between fur color and feline temperament? Modern science has attempted to find answers. Several research studies surveyed thousands of cat guardians to see if color correlates with personality traits. One well-known study from the University of California asked cat parents to describe their companions' personalities in detail. The results? Clear patterns emerged from the data. Owners of calico and tortoiseshell cats frequently described them as stubborn, sassy, and unpredictable. Black cats got labeled as calm and easygoing more often. Ginger cats were overwhelmingly reported as social, affectionate, and sometimes a bit needy. Now, does this mean every single tortoiseshell acts like a diva, or that every ginger cat behaves like a clown? Absolutely not. Just like people, cats are individuals shaped by countless factors: genetics, upbringing, environment, and unique life experiences. But what strikes me as significant is how often these patterns repeat. It suggests that color might not be entirely random when it comes to behavior. Part of the explanation could lie in biology itself. Remember, the same genes that determine coat color may also impact hormones and brain chemistry. For instance, the gene for ginger fur sits on the X chromosome. This means male ginger cats are far more common than females. And since hormones influence everything from risk-taking behavior to affection levels, it's not unreasonable to think that coat color genetics could indirectly shape temperament. Still, science hasn't fully proven this connection yet. That's where human perception enters the picture. We naturally carry biases. We see what we expect to see. If you've heard that black cats are mysterious, your brain might notice every calm, quiet moment your dark cat displays, reinforcing that stereotype.
If someone told you ginger cats are silly, you might pay extra attention to their playful behavior while overlooking their serious moods. Psychologists call this confirmation bias. We notice evidence supporting our beliefs and ignore everything else. But even if perception plays a major role, does it actually matter in practice? Not really, because perception shapes reality. If we treat a ginger cat as playful and friendly, they may grow into that role. If we assume a black cat is calm, we might interact with them more gently, encouraging that behavior further. In this way, color becomes more than just fur. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let me share a quick example. A family once brought home two kittens from the same litter, one black, one orange. At first, their behaviors were nearly identical. Both were curious, mischievous, typical kittens. But as the family interacted with them, differences began to emerge. The orange kitten constantly got encouraged to be the funny one. The black kitten received praise for being wise and dignified. By the time they reached adulthood, the orange cat had become the loud, attention-seeking center of the household. Meanwhile, the black cat carried himself with quiet dignity. Was this destiny written in their fur, or simply a reflection of how their humans saw them? That's the beautiful mystery we're dealing with here. Science points toward genetics. Psychology points toward human bias. Reality probably lives somewhere in between. And don't forget the myths. Throughout history, humans have spun elaborate stories about cats based on color. In ancient Egypt, golden and ginger cats were linked to the sun god, believed to bring vitality and protection. Sailors brought black cats on ships, convinced they would ensure safe passage across dangerous waters. In Scotland, spotting a strange black cat on your doorstep meant prosperity was coming. Meanwhile, white cats were thought to carry spiritual energy, sometimes even serving as spirit guardians for their households. We might dismiss these ideas today as superstition, but notice something important. These myths always connect color to something deeper than surface level. Even before modern science existed, humans felt that a cat's color said something essential, something symbolic about them. And maybe, just maybe, they weren't entirely wrong. Because when we step back and look at the big picture, we realize that whether through genetics, perception, or ancient myths, color always seems to hold influence. Cat owners notice it, cultures remember it, scientists study it, and cats themselves live it every single day. Which brings us back to you, sitting there right now, thinking about your own cat. Does their color line up with everything you've just heard? Do you recognize pieces of truth in these patterns? Or are you now wondering if you've been unconsciously shaping your cat's personality all along? Either way, the bond between you and your feline friend is being subtly influenced every single day by their fur color, whether through biology, through human perception, or through centuries of stories passed down through generations. But hold on, because while we've been asking what your color reveals about them, we haven't yet explored the even bigger question, something that might hit closer to home than you expect. The mirror effect. What your cat's color reveals about you. Up until now, we focused on what your cat's fur color might say about them. But let's flip the mirror around for a moment. Because there's another side to this story, one that might surprise you more than anything else we've covered. What if the color of your cat actually reveals something about you, about your personality, your emotions, your needs, and even the choices you've made throughout your life? Think carefully for a moment. Of all the cats you could have brought into your world, why did you choose this specific one? Was it truly random chance, or was something deeper at work? An instinct, an emotional pull, a reflection of exactly what you needed at that precise moment in your life. Psychologists who study human-animal bonds have noticed something remarkable. People tend to choose pets who resonate with their own personalities, hidden desires, or even unspoken fears. In other words, the cat sharing your home isn't just a pet. They're a mirror reflection of you. And one of the strongest indicators of this reflection, their fur color. Let's explore this idea together, color by color. Imagine someone drawn to a black cat. On the surface, it might seem like an ordinary choice. But black cats, often misunderstood and even feared by some, typically get adopted by people who value depth, mystery, and inner strength. If you're the proud parent of a black cat, you might be someone who sees beauty where others overlook it. Someone who values loyalty and quiet power. Black cat owners often describe themselves as introspective, spiritual, and willing to challenge unfair stereotypes. Does that description resonate with you? Now let's talk about ginger cats, those fiery tabbies with sunshine-colored coats that brighten any room they enter. People who gravitate toward orange cats are often described as outgoing, warm, and socially confident. These cats are associated with playfulness and affection, and their humans tend to mirror those qualities. Maybe you're someone who loves to laugh, to spread joy, to bring positive energy into every space you occupy. Or perhaps you were longing for that spark of sunshine in your life, and your ginger cat became the living embodiment of that need. Then there are white cats. Their snow-like coats carry an air of elegance and fragility. People drawn to white cats are often seen as protectors, nurturers, or visionaries. They're individuals who crave peace, calm, and purity in their surroundings. If you share your life with a white cat, perhaps you're someone who values harmony, order, or even spiritual connection. Maybe deep down you want it not just a companion, but a living symbol of serenity itself. Tabby cats with their stripes, swirls, or spots tell their own unique story. They represent balance, adaptability, and resilience. People who bond with tabbies often see themselves as practical, grounded, yet open to life's little adventures. If you live with a tabby, perhaps you admire consistency, loyalty, and a touch of playfulness wrapped in everyday comfort. And of course, there are the calicos and tortoiseshells. With their patches of black, orange, and cream, they're often seen as bold, unpredictable, and overflowing with personality. People drawn to these cats are rarely boring. They're dynamic, creative, sometimes intense, and always passionate. If you chose a calico or tortoiseshell, maybe you saw in them a piece of yourself, the fire, the unpredictability, the refusal to blend into the background. Before we continue, I want to remind you to smash that like button if this is making you think differently about your relationship with your cat. And if you haven't subscribed to Cat Census Advice yet, please do it now. We're building a community of people who truly want to understand their cats on a deeper level. But here's the deeper truth I want to share. The cat you chose might not only reflect who you are right now, it may also reflect who you needed to become. Many cat parents adopt during major turning points, after a loss, during a big life change, and a moment of loneliness or uncertainty. In those moments, the color of the cat you were drawn to may have been a subconscious choice, a way of bringing into your life exactly what your heart was craving. Consider the person who adopts a white cat during a chaotic period. Maybe they were subconsciously seeking peace, and the presence of that white cat brought harmony. Or someone who brought home a ginger kitten while struggling with sadness. They may have been yearning for laughter and brightness, and the orange fur became their symbol of hope. Then there are white cats. Their snow-like coats carry an air of elegance and fragility. People drawn to white cats are often seen as protectors, nurturers, or visionaries. They're individuals who crave peace, calm, and purity in their surroundings. If you share your life with a white cat, perhaps you're someone who values harmony, order, or even spiritual connection. Maybe deep down you want it not just a companion, but a living symbol of serenity itself. Tabby cats with their stripes, swirls, or spots tell their own unique story. They represent balance, adaptability, and resilience. People who bond with tabbies often see themselves as practical, grounded, yet open to life's little adventures. If you live with the tabby, perhaps you admire consistency, loyalty, and a touch of playfulness wrapped in everyday comfort. And of course, there are the calicos and tortoiseshells. With their patches of black, orange, and cream, they're often seen as bold, unpredictable, and overflowing with personality. People drawn to these cats are rarely boring. They're dynamic, creative, sometimes intense, and always passionate. If you chose a calico or tortoiseshell, maybe you saw in them a piece of yourself. The fire, the unpredictability, the refusal to blend into the background. Before we continue, I want to remind you to smash that like button if this is making you think differently about your relationship with your cat. And if you haven't subscribed to Cat Census Advice yet, please do it now. We're building a community of people who truly want to understand their cats on a deeper level. But here's the deeper truth I want to share. The cat you chose might not only reflect who you are right now, it may also reflect who you need it to become. Many cat parents adopt during major turning points, after a loss, during a big life change, in a moment of loneliness or uncertainty. In those moments, the color of the cat you were drawn to may have been a subconscious choice, a way of bringing into your life exactly what your heart was craving. Consider the person who adopts a white cat during a chaotic period. Maybe they were subconsciously seeking peace, and the presence of that white cat brought harmony. Or someone who brought home a ginger kitten while struggling with sadness. They may have been yearning for laughter and brightness, and the orange fur became their symbol of hope. The connection goes even further. Scientists studying pet ownership psychology have found that people often project their inner emotions onto their animals. This means when you look at your cat's color, you may be seeing parts of yourself reflected back at you. Your cat isn't just an animal sharing your home. They're a living mirror of your soul. And now let's pause for something truly special. Among all these colors, there's one that stands out as incredibly rare. A shade almost nobody talks about, yet it carries extraordinary symbolic weight. Lilac, a diluted version of chocolate brown appearing as a delicate grayish lavender. This is one of the rarest shades in the entire feline world. Cats with this coat are said to represent uniqueness, individuality, and extraordinary depth. People drawn to lilac cats often describe themselves or get described by others as seekers of meaning, people who crave rarity, who walk paths few dare to take. Think about what that means. If you've ever been drawn to a rare-colored cat, it may reflect not only your personality, but your entire life's journey. The need to embrace the unusual, the exceptional, the extraordinary. So, when you look at your cat, what do you genuinely see? Just fur and color? Or do you see a reflection of yourself? Your strengths, your fears, your desires, even your destiny? Because here's the truth that might feel a bit unsettling yet beautiful at the same time. The choice of your cat's color wasn't an accident. Consciously or not, you were drawn to them for a specific reason. That color you fell in love with may be whispering truths about your own heart that you've never spoken out loud. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. And drop a comment telling me if you see yourself in your cat's color. I genuinely want to know your story.
The rarest shades, colors that carry ancient power. We've discovered how color shapes perception, influences behavior, and reflects the bond between you and your cat. But there's one final layer to explore, perhaps the most fascinating of all, the rare colors that carry with them centuries of mystery, power, and deep symbolism. These shades are so uncommon that many people never encounter them in real life. Yet for those who do, they hold meaning that feels almost supernatural. Let's start with the Russian blue. With their shimmering silver blue coat, these cats are instantly recognizable. For centuries, they've been surrounded by myth and legend. In Russia, they were considered sacred protectors of royalty and guardians of the home. Even today, people describe them as having a mystical presence, with eyes that seem to look straight into your soul.
To share your life with a Russian blue is to invite an air of elegance, intuition, and calm into your home. A reminder that some bonds run deeper than words can express. Then there are the lilac and chocolate cats, some of the rarest colors in the feline world. Lilac, that delicate grayish lavender shade, results from a genetic dilution so uncommon it feels like nature's secret experiment. Chocolate, rich and warm, is equally rare and often associated with exclusivity and sophistication. These cats aren't just pets, they're living treasures. People who are drawn to them often seek individuality, depth, and meaning in everything they do. Owning such a cat can feel like being chosen by destiny itself, as if the universe handpicked that rare gem specifically for you. Golden cats, with fur that glows like captured sunlight, represent another extraordinary rarity. In ancient cultures, golden animals were seen as direct gifts from the gods, symbols of prosperity, vitality, and life itself. To have a golden cat curl up on your lap is to carry a living emblem of fortune and joy, a daily reminder of light in the world, even during your darkest moments. And let's not forget the pure white cat with odd-colored eyes, one blue, one green, or amber. Known as odd-eyed whites, these cats have been surrounded by myth for centuries. Some cultures saw them as guardians between worlds, able to see both the natural and spiritual realms simultaneously. Others believed they carried special blessings, balancing energy between their humans and the universe itself. Science explains their eye color as a genetic quirk, a harmless mutation. But for those who share their life with such a cat, it feels like so much more than coincidence. These rare colors captivate us not only because of their beauty, they captivate us because of what they represent. They remind us that cats are more than household pets. They are companions steeped in history, mystery, and wonder. Every shade of fur carries with it a legacy, stories told through generations, whispers of myths, echoes of forgotten rituals, and ancient wisdom. But here's the part that may truly leave you speechless. When you chose your cat, or when they chose you, it may not have been chance at all. Perhaps you thought you simply liked the way they looked. Perhaps you told yourself it was practical, that this was just the cat who happened to be available at the shelter or wandering near your home. But deep down, maybe it was something else entirely. Maybe you were drawn to them because of what their color represented in your heart, what you needed, what you desired, or even what you feared. Because in the end, the color of your cat is more than fur. It's a key to centuries of human belief, a key to patterns of behavior encoded in genes, a key to your own subconscious choices and hidden truths about yourself. So now take one last moment to really look at your cat. Notice their fur, the shade, the texture, the way it catches the light. Ask yourself, what does this color mean to me? What stories has it told me over the years without using words? And most importantly, how has it shaped the bond we share? Because maybe your cat's color wasn't just an accident of genetics. Maybe it was fate. Maybe it was destiny. Or maybe, just maybe, the color didn't simply happen to your cat at all. Maybe the color chose you.
Join our community. If this journey opened your eyes to something new, don't let it end here. Leave a comment below telling us the color of your cat and whether you've noticed these hidden connections in your own life. Hit that like button if you felt that spark of recognition. Share this video with another cat lover who needs to hear this message. And please, subscribe to Cat Sense's Advice if you want to keep exploring the fascinating, mysterious, and emotional world of cats with us. This isn't just about growing a channel. It's about building a community of cat lovers who see what others overlook, who understand that these creatures share our homes and our hearts in ways we're only beginning to understand. To everyone who has already joined, liked, or shared, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're the reason we can keep making these videos and spreading this knowledge. I'm James Mitchell, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, go give your cat some extra love. They deserve it.